Welcome back, Chronicle enthusiasts. Today's episode is a symphony of insights, a harmonious blend of academia and artistry as we delve into the transformative world of out-of-class academic collaboration, or OCAC. I'm thrilled to have two distinguished guests gracing our studio today. The visionary leader steering the helm of NMIMS University, its Vice-Chancellor Dr. Ramesh Bhat, and the maestro orchestrating innovative pedagogies in the School of Performing Arts, none other than its Associate Dean, Dr. Vikas Bharadwaj. Join us as we unravel the layers of OCAC, exploring its impact on student development, the crucial role of educators, and the unique initiatives that echo through the corridors of our university. Get ready to be inspired, enlightened, and perhaps a little musical. This is the NMIMS Monday Morning Chronicle podcast, and I'm your host, Gaurav. Let's dive into the rhythm of education and collaboration. A very warm welcome to the both of y'all.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Let's start the conversation with you, Dr. Bhatt. As the guiding force behind NMIMS University, could you elaborate on how the OCAC concept aligns with the overarching vision of the university? How do you see it shaping the future of education here?
Well, it's very important that at a university, the learning ecosystem of this for the students focuses on the OCAC concept, which is basically out-of-class academic collaboration. I presume that a lot of activities on academic front is happening at the university across the schools and campuses, whether it is through the internal assessment component, ICA component, and also various processes followed by the deans and directors of the schools and campuses, which encourage an active collaboration of the students when they are not inside the classroom. The learning process really gets firmed up and gets reinforced when the students outside the classroom come together, discuss their key learnings in the class, and also there will be many aspects of student learning which will require strengthening the skills part of it, where the students will need a lot of effort in terms of developing the skills what is required as part of their learning process. As we have discussed in our previous chronicles and podcast, our CASH framework, KASH, which is knowledge, attitudes, skills, and habits. I think it's also important when you are focusing on developing the skills, the habits also play a very important role. And today I think we will listen from Dr. Vikas Bharadwaj how he has implemented some innovative OCAC initiatives at their school, which really help the students to develop the skills in a very complex field, that is learning music, and not only develop the skills but also create positive habits which will contribute to the learning of the students in a significant way. So that's, I think, how at the university we try to see that each school and campus must develop a framework for the OCAC so that the learning of the students is enhanced.
Hello, Dr. Bharadwaj, and once again, welcome to today's episode of the NMIMS Monday Morning Chronicle podcast. I wanted to share a little bit about your background with our listeners before we delve into our conversation. You have excelled in academics and are a gold medalist PhD holder. You're also currently pursuing your doctorate of literature and are also actively involved in performances as a brilliant musician. I want to know, how did all of these skills actually help you to design a perfect bachelor's program in Indian classical music, one that can fulfill all the needs of a music aspirant?
Let me first thank you for having me here. and I feel truly honored to be sharing the same platform with the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. Before I come to your caution, I just want to speak few things. Well, whenever there is a discussion on music education in India, the very first thought that comes to our mind is the traditional teaching system in India, which we all know as Guru Shishya Parampara, and undoubtedly it has proved to be the best way of teaching Indian classical music. After years and years, with the efforts of so many musicians, musicologists, organizations, finally we can see a wide and well developed, well structured degree program in universities and colleges, and it is something really very appreciable. At the same time, because if I talk about my journey in the field of music, I have been serving this field for last, I think, somewhere around 31 or 32 years, and I have served as a student. Of course, I am a student now, as a research scholar, as a teacher, as a musician, and of course, as an administrator now. And always a thought hammered my mind that when every year we can see countless students having graduation and post-graduation, why we cannot see all of them as a good performing artist? Why we cannot see them on a stage? Because whenever it's about music, music is more inclined to the practical side. Finally, it's a performing art and you have to perform. No doubt there is a huge theory and equally we give importance to that. But even to justify the theoretical part, you have to go practical ways. So this always hammered my mind that why this gap actually is there in the music education in India, that we cannot see all of them as a good performing artist. And when finally I got this opportunity from NMIMS that from the beginning I have to curate the whole program for Indian classical music in NMIMS, I was really happy, excited, and I started working on that. So, as already you said that I have had that experience of being a performing artist and I am performing everywhere in and out of India. So, all these inputs that I received through my Guru Shishya Parampara training, I tried to incorporate in the curriculum. The very first need, which is very important, is the perfect curriculum. And when it's about music, we cannot go with the general approach. We actually have to take a unique approach that will actually be helping students to come out practically sound and theoretical sound as well. So the most important element, and we all have been listening this from the eminent musicians, that Riyaz is the only key that actually helps you. And it is always said that jo karega riyaz wo karega raj. So but I found this concept really missing in the curriculum in universities and colleges. So yes, sometimes teachers convey to the students, yes, please do practice. Again, the question is that how many of them are actually practicing? Just following this concept, what we did at School of Performing Arts, we introduced the mandatory subject that we say technical performance in the curriculum. What we actually do, technical performance is all about the Riyaz concept. If you are a vocalist, from the basics to all the important exercises, important technical practices that actually is going to help you to attain good skills, we have added all those things. The whole concept is there in technical performance. So every week we have 6 hours of classes, and it's not just as already I said, it's a mandatory subject. So we have ICAs, we have term and examination, and even when external is there to assess the final examination, students are going to be asked the technical exercise only. So when you have no other way, you have no choice than practicing technical exercises like 100 sapas, 200 sapas, I don't find any way that they are not going to actually attain the good skills which are really important. So this is first. And apart from this technical performance subject that focuses on Riyaz, in the daily routine in the campus, we have assigned dedicatedly 2 hours to this Riyaz concept, and the system is that apart from your theory and practical classes, every student is supposed to attend and practice in presence of the faculty. So this Riyaz concept is something really very good, which is helping tremendously to all the students, and we can really see some good changes, and really the vibes are very different. Thank you.
Dr. Bhatt, this week's Chronicle note also mentions the Brahma Muhurat Riyaz, which is actually a very intriguing concept in itself and seems to be a very unique initiative at Dr. Bharadwaj's school. I was wondering whether you could briefly delve into the genesis of this idea and share how exactly, in your opinion, does this early morning practice enrich musical skills as well as foster a disciplined and positive campus culture?
I think this Brahma Muhurat Riyaz is a very, very important concept. And I would request Dr. Bharadwaj to elaborate on that. But I would like to just point out, I think this particular practice deals with, I think, two very important components of the our knowledge ecosystem. One is that habit part of it. I think it really provides an opportunity for the students in a very peer cultured manner, because all the students are in an asynchronous mode at their respective places. They really communicate to everyone that they have started their Brahma Muhurat Riyaz. So I think it is one way to reinforce the good habits among the students to devote specific number of hours to practice certain aspects of their learning. Because if you do not practice, you will not be able to get it. You see, there is always the gap between the knowledge and the skill. You know that, let us say, in a particular raga, the following notes are used. But how do you really include those notes in what kind of a pattern, what kind of a structure which you create? It can come only with a good amount of practice. So it really helps you to bridge a gap between what you know about that particular musical piece and then what you whether you are able to develop your skills to really perform that whatever I think you have learned. Second, it is a very important initiative when everybody in the morning, maybe at 4:30 or 5 o'clock or maybe 5:30, they communicate to each other that they have started today's Riyaz. So it really also creates some kind of an peer culture kind of a thing where you reinforce each other's learning, because when they will come to the college when they have their sessions, they are certainly going to discuss a little bit about how was the experience of their morning Riyaz. And then I think it starts inculcating that very good habit among the students to really practice certain important aspects of it. Maybe how this concept came into operation, Dr. Bharadwaj can really throw some good light on this.
As already VC sir has thrown already some light on this, as earlier I mentioned that Riyaz has really a significant role in music education. And music itself has a spiritual expression first, and music is always connected with the time theory concept. So early morning time is something that we always consider as a divine timing. Secondly, if you physiological way, that's the time when you wake up after a sound sleep. So because Riyaz literally requires an ample of energy So that's the time when you are full of energy and there is no disturbance, because now we can see there is a lot of things coming on social media, this and that. So that's the time when there is no disturbance, it's completely peace and calm, and that's the time when you can have 100% focus on your practice. To add further, I would just tell you what exactly is the concept. We have actually created a joint WhatsApp group for the students studying at School of Performing Arts. And the concept is that they all have to wake up early in the morning, somewhere around 4:30 or 5. And immediately when they sit for their Riyaz session, they have to update in the joint WhatsApp group when exactly they have started the morning Riyaz. And every student, including faculties, including me, we all update. So it's definitely it's giving some benefits to individual, but at the same time it's very inspiring. It's very inspiring, it's very creative that you somehow inspire even others that acha usne riyaz kiya, mujhe bhi uthna and I have to update in the joint WhatsApp group. So this concept is really helping a lot. And even when they come to the campus, as sir said, that there is a very positive and productive discussion on that. So teachers are even taking part in that what exactly did you practice. Then they get some proper formation of the practice, what they actually need to practice to attain some good skills. So the concept is really helping a lot, and it's really a good initiative. And one thing I would add here, that see, if you even want to make some changes, you cannot make changes unless you have a proper support from your higher authorities. And I always feel blessed that I am working under Dr. Ramesh Bhat sir, who is already having that passion for performing arts. So it's really very supportive. And even many times it happens that I receive some good ideas from VC sir, and we can implement all those things. So overall, it's really helping a lot to the students, and the change we can see is really tremendous.
Dr. Bharadwaj, just to follow up on that, you've pretty much elaborated that the Riyaz is one of the OCAC initiatives that keeps students engaged and also keeps them inspired to come together and practice. But I was wondering, are there any other initiatives of OCAC at the School of Performing Arts that you would want to touch upon for our listeners?
Definitely. See, OCAC is out of the class. So if you want to be fit in any field, like if you want to be fit physically, it's more important to be disciplined out of the gym hour, not just that 1 hour. So similarly in music, if you really want to achieve some good levels, so out of the class, how disciplined you are, that really has some significant role. So like I already mentioned, there is a good Riyaz concept first. Then every 15 days, we have a Baithak. What happened, I tell you, that some of the students approached me, sir, and it's very natural. It happens, I think, with every artist at certain times. That, sir, when we have to perform, there are some psychological pressures like anxiety, nervousness, little fear, whether it will go right or not. So when all these things came to me, I decided immediately that, see, there cannot a word or something that you can add in the curriculum, in the course outline, that is actually going to help. Only the practices you have to face. You have to face and you have to be strong. That's the only concept. So how maximum they can practice. So following that thought, I immediately introduced the Baithak concept. So as per the concept, students frequently get opportunities to perform in presence of the faculties, in presence of the students, in presence of the dean, and maximum when they perform. All these things actually they are relieved of. So the Baithak concept is there. Secondly, every month we have Naad expression that we say monthly in-house concert, and this concept is followed in both the programs. I just want to add here that we have degree programs in Western contemporary music, and we always feel proud saying that NMIMS is the very first platform that introduced the complete degree program in Western contemporary music. So we are following all these practices even in the Western contemporary music program. And in Indian music, the Western music program, we have introduced the monthly concept that we say Nad expression. So the whole college is there, students are getting maximum opportunities to perform. And I have told all the faculties that after the performance, now what I'm going to say is it's really very important. Just giving performance is not important. Important is that after performance, in the very first class, performances are actually discussed in the class hour, that where you have improved, the areas you need to improve, how to improve that. So all these things are discussed in the class hour, and this feedback, I feel that it's really helping a lot to the students, and the progress growth, the ratio is really something good.
Thank you for that explanation, Dr. Bharadwaj. If I could just chip in with my 2 cents here, I believe that the entire concept of students developing skill sets outside of the classroom is as important as developing skill sets within the classroom. And at some level, they both go hand in hand. But Dr. Bhatt, I would like to steer this conversation towards a broader approach now. I remember this week's Chronicle note suggests 3 distinct OCAC approaches: school-driven, faculty-driven, and student-driven. How do these approaches interweave within NMIMS, creating a comprehensive tapestry that nurtures holistic learning experiences?
Right. First of all, I would like to mention that because we have various schools and campuses across the NMIMS University. And here is one school, School of Performing Arts, which has looked at the context of their school and come up with the certain very effective OCAC practices and very innovative ways of looking at the things. If I want to see this in a broader context, this Brahma Muhurat concept, in fact, you will see that in Western world, this is also known as the 5 a.m. club. And there is a best-selling author, Robin Sharma, who has written extensively on that, how the best leaders start their mornings at 5 a.m. Now, if I look at this habit of starting the day at 5 a.m., I think it has a number of advantages, as Dr. Bharadwaj also pointed out. You are free from all the distractions, maybe from 5 to 8 o'clock, and you can, I think, do a lot of stuff during that time with a very focused kind of an approach. It is not that I think all the schools and campuses need to evaluate this concept or look at the way I think Bharadwaj has done. I think it is just an inspiration to really look at in our context. If I am a, let's say, management program, how can I bring this 5 a.m. concept in my teaching and learning? And I have, I think, examined this concept a little bit, and it is always possible for the schools to, if we want to create the best leaders and best professionals who are at par excellent professionals in the world, I think it is very important for us to help them to inculcate these good habits. We call it Brahma Muhurat in India. Western world will call it 5 a.m. club kind of a thing. But I think this is known fact that all the top leaders today, they start their day at maybe 5 o'clock or maybe 4:30 to really focus on many activities which I think where they need a very focused mind kind of a thing. As a university, how do we approach this issue? Of course, we have to understand our context, the way Dr. Bharadwaj has contextualized it in School of Performing Arts. And I'm sure that this is going to deliver very good results in times to come. Other schools can also start something with the help of the students, that how they can start these kind of an activities in a very gradual manner. And of course, it has to be, to begin with, voluntary in process. So it can be school driven, that at the institution level, the school comes up with some kind of an initiatives, or there may be sometimes peculiar things about a particular subject where it can be faculty driven, and then the students can also take their own initiatives to start the OCAC kind of an initiatives. Like for example, as I mentioned that school driven can be asking the students to do the preparation for the classes of the day starting at 5 a.m. in the morning or 6 a.m. in the morning, depending on how you would like to structure it. But one very important thing in this process is, whether it is a school driven or faculty driven or student driven, I think it is very important that we really keep watch on what is happening. We document this, we monitor this, and put it really as a part of the system, because many times I think the OCAC activities really go, which are happening in any way in significant ways, but they go unnoticed, and because we are not measuring them, we are not looking at its impact on the student learning and things like that. I think it's very important for each school to and campuses to become conscious of this OCAC concept, draft some kind of a strategic plan, develop some kind of a monitoring system that you are able to track the performance, develop some kind of a system which will monitor, and also then look at what is the kind of an impact it is creating. This, I think if we do this, I think we can also show this aspect as one of the best practices of the university.
One of the many underlying themes of this week's Chronicle Note also touches upon cross-disciplinary engagement. So, Dr. Bharadwaj, I was wondering, how does the School of Performing Arts collaborate with other disciplines within NMIMS, creating a harmonious cross-disciplinary approach, one that enhances the understanding of the arts?
There are, many examples in the society that they actually pursued in different disciplines, like they are big scientists, big good engineers, but even they have somehow had a connection with music that tremendously helped them in their overall growth. Even they could excel in the field they actually pursued. So that's the concept, and as you already said, interdisciplinary concept. And now we can see there are some changes even in the new education policy. So NMIMS has already taken the initiative in that direction, and we have some courses that already we have introduced for different disciplines. So definitely now we welcome students from other domains to come and just learn some good Indian classical music and be benefited with the incurrencies of the Indian classical music. Also to add, we have some courses based on production and the sound engineering, like music production, introduction to the music technology. So what is happening that we can see now the world is of social media, and every student actually has got good access to expose the talents they have. So every time it is not possible to hire a professional studio. So these subjects are actually helping a lot to the student, that they get to learn about the production, how to record, how to arrange, how to make proper edits, and just make it prepared to present to the outside world. So not just the students who are pursuing music, but students who are actually pursuing domains inclined to technological side, even they can be a part of this course.
You know, there was a very interesting thing that I found in this week's Chronicle Note, and Dr. Bharadwaj, this question is geared towards you. How did the guided listening sessions introduced in the School of Performing Arts contribute not just to academic learning, but also to the development of essential lifelong skills?
First, in the context of a music student requirement, listening is something very essential in the field of music, because the ideas that you get after listening different musicians it really helps a lot. Like I have learned a rag from my guru. I do practice. Definitely, I get some more ideas when I start practicing. But if I really want to go to the depth in the raga, then how I can get some more ideas, some other ways to approach that raga. So we already have. I somehow missed to talk about this. We had already introduced this guided listening session system at School of Performing Arts, and the concept is that the whole department, including faculties, dean, we all sit in a room and we select some good recordings from good musicians. And again, I would add one thing here: just listening is not important. And more important is to develop that sense that finally how you can learn after listening some good recordings. And as a music student, you always approach, you always look for some learning. So developing that sense that if you listen someone's recording, if you go to attend someone's recital, how you can learn something. So that sense is really very important. And when we have such sessions, we always talk about it. I said in context of a music learner. Now I come to the general society. Music always has helped a lot. Even we all have rhythms, we all have musical notes. The only thing is that we are into music, but we don't know how we are actually into music. And there were some articles, even I had written some which were published in the newspapers, especially in the corona times, how you can really be relaxed with the help of music. So it is a quote, especially in Europe, it is said that music is considered as the catharsis of sorts, the best tool, the best medium that always keeps you stress free. So even in general sense, I would say music is really helping the society in so many different ways.
If I just extend this concept of listening, I think in management, we train the students how to be a good listener. Because I think as a leader, you have to be a good listener. How do you really listen to people? And whatever I think inference you want to draw based on that is a carefully drawn inference. But I think the most important part is that the students in management and many fields go through this exercise of becoming a good listener, right? So there are a lot of parallels between why it helps in the music sessions and how it will help the in the management. Similarly, I think in managers, I think several years back we had started the initiative of managers need to have a good modulation of their voice to become an effective leader, right? So I think these are the kind of an exercises where the management students go through that, and it really helps them to become the good leaders. So there are a lot of parallels, I think, if we start drawing the kind of an canvas of the things which we need to do to strengthen the student learning. I think there are a lot of learnings from the various fields which we need to look at, and each school and campus needs to develop their own inventory of OCAC practices to really strengthen the learning of the students.
So what I understand so far is that OCAC is integral to the overall development of a student inside and outside the classroom. It also plays a role in grooming them for real life scenarios which they will face outside college after their education. But as we approach the end of our conversation today, I wanted to understand, first from Dr. Bharadwaj and then from you, Dr. Bhatt, that in this dynamic world of OCAC, there must be some challenges that the School of Performing Arts has faced. And maybe you could tell the listeners as to how you have adapted these initiatives to meet the evolving needs of students and the ever-changing nature of the arts.
See, every field and every time when you want to do something good, there are challenges. We don't focus on challenges. My personal belief is that for me, education is not just about the curriculum or the content delivery. For me, education is a sanskar. Education is a culture. And the sanskar you actually engrave in students and they carry throughout their life actually is important for me. If you really want to excel, you have only one thought: you have to do. You have to do. If you are focused on different things, that how it's going to be, there are this, there are those challenges and this and that, so I don't think that you actually will be at level that you can really achieve something. So for me, my attitude towards music education and my approach is completely different, and that's the reason, honestly, we have had all the challenges, but even after that, whatever we planned, we have finally given a shape to it. And that's the reason now we can see the changes and the good vibes in the school. So I would just conclude this saying that honestly, I don't focus much on the challenges, but what I want to do, I see how I can finally deliver it.
No, I think you see that it is a process of educating the students and everybody who is involved in this exercise to really understand the benefits and the kind of an contribution it can make to one's learning. So many times I think there may be mindsets which may show some kind of an resistance because everybody is in this dynamic world engaged with several things. How does one prioritize the time for these activities is a very important task, and many times I think you may face some constraints or challenges, but I think once you are able to convey the concept and its benefits, I'm sure that in the medium term or in the short term, the students and everybody who is involved in this process will understand that it is for their own benefit. It is for their own development of the good skills. It is for their own development of the habits. But it takes time. I think it cannot be something instantaneous happening because you have to do a lot of education, you have to do a lot of change of mindset kind of a thing. And many times I think the students as well as faculty have to stretch. You see, the best concept in the face of the constraints is that you don't focus on too much on constraints, but focus on stretching. Stretch for, like say, waking up 5 o'clock in the morning, doing the practice kind of a thing, which is, I think in today's world, quite a difficult task to ask somebody that you get up at 5 o'clock and then start this practice kind of a thing, or get up at 5 o'clock and solve this particular case which you are going to discuss today in the classroom kind of a situation. But I think it is, once you, I think, are able to convey the benefits of this process, I'm sure that everybody will join you for the Brahm Muhurat kind of in practice. And it is really, in my view, practice which can bring a all holistic development. It can bring lot of learning. It can create a focused minds, and they can really focus on their learning part much more effectively.
As we draw the curtains on this enriching episode of the NMIMS Monday Morning Chronicle podcast, the resonance of our conversation on out-of-class academic collaboration lingers, much like a melody that leaves a lasting imprint. A heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests, Dr. Ramesh Bhat and Dr. Vikas Bharadwaj, for generously sharing their insights and wisdom, and for weaving a narrative that transcends the traditional boundaries of academia. As we navigate the dynamic seas of education, it is quite evident that OCAC is not just a concept. It's a symphony of experiences, collaborations, and innovations that sculpt the very essence of holistic learning. Now, dear listeners, the baton is passed on to you. We invite you to share your thoughts, experiences, and reflections on OCAC. How has it shaped your educational journey? Connect with us on social media, drop a comment, and let's continue this harmonious dialogue. Until next time, Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep tuning in to the NMIMS Monday Morning Chronicle podcast. Thank you, sirs, for being a part of this episode.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.